Okay, now that we have the skull and crossbones on our book, let's go ahead and tackle the pages inside the book. The first thing I want to do is actually turn everything off. I only want the pages, so I'll hold down Shift and tap on the pages. And the technique I'm going to use here is actually a pretty simple one. I think you'll be impressed at just how fast we're able to make the edges of the book look like the pages are very old and weathered and aged. First thing we want to do is increase our geometry, of course, but we definitely want to keep the shape. We don't want to lose the shape at all. So I'm going to turn off my smooth, and I think I'll hit this at least 3 times and turn on my smooth. That's going to work out well for us. And this particular technique, unlike other techniques where we need to build up, I'm going to actually go right up to the maximum. So I'm going to go up to 7 right away, and that might not even be enough. What I want to do here is, before I actually get too deep into it, I want to do an initial test. We're going to be working with 2 different brushes for this technique. The first brush is the rake tool. And if you haven't used the rake, it's very similar to the same type of rake that we use in clay sculpting. It just allows us to kind of scrape and carve down into the clay and just define our shape fairly easily. But it definitely leaves like plow tracks. It leaves almost like a wood grain. Okay. I want to not only do that, but I want to go around the curve, around the corner, because what you'll notice is we lose the detail from the corner. Honestly, the easiest thing to do is just scribble right over the corner. So before I do that, I'm going to show you the second brush that we'll be using, which is the Weave. It's the Weave 1. And the Weave 1 is going to give us this really cool pattern that kind of undulates in and out. And that's going to give us that great looking weathered pages effect. So the secret here is going to just be a combination of working with both brushes as well as the intensity settings and the brush size. It's really nothing more than that, and it's all experimental. So what I'm going to do is just work on the corner right now and just rough in over the corner. And you see how I was able to fill that in? So I was able to defeat the corner just by scribbling over it that way, and then we can focus on the rest of the pages this way by just adding in, and then I can continue the way I normally would. So that's probably going to be the easiest way to complete this task, is to just bring that in just like this. Once again, I'll scribble in over the corner to build it up. And this can get really stubborn at times. I'm also noticing some pinching that's occurring. So what I want to do is go into my brush and make sure that I have the back face masking. This way we're not dealing with any of those pinching issues. Let's get the rest of that. And I have just a little bit here that I want to also focus on. So regarding the rake, is the rake necessary? Well, it just depends on your preference. In this case, it really wasn't too necessary for the technique that I was looking for the end result. But I definitely encourage you to try using it. What's more important is that I get these pages as clean as possible. Now, I definitely have a rounded edge here, and I don't want that. So that's one of the things I'm definitely going to address right now. So I'm going to pull this down and bring that back. I need to have some amount of definition in the curve to fix that. But I'll go back to my move brush. And so this is where I have the ability now to pull the mesh back into shape. Okay, pull this side down and bring this side in. And now I'll increase gently to see how those edges are handling each other. And I think that's fine. Tighten it up just a little bit. Same for this end. So that's really starting to look good. We did lose a bit of the curvature on the interior, so I do want to bring that back. So I'll begin to just pull these pages in a bit. Not too much. I definitely want the edges, the end caps, to kind of have the curvature, but it's okay if the middle pages are not completely beveled in. It will make them look as if they're really sticking out in different sizes. So those will be okay. Alright, so I'll pull in a couple here. And, you know, to enhance that even further if I wanted to, you could literally pull out some of these and give them a bit of originality sticking out. But I think we're good. So let's go all the way up to a level 7, see what we have. That's actually looking awesome.